Hello guys! Now we have that huge cosmetic industry and they're producing new products all the time. I've studied that subject pretty thoroughly and I've picked up the most interesting things that I found for myself to show you. I had some questions and I was trying to answer those questions about why we have that makeup now that we have and why last decades it was changing so much. Of course, makeup itself is a very ancient thing. Many thousand years ago, people applied makeup, but it has never grown so fast as it was in the 20th century. That cosmetic industry that we know it now appeared around 1920. Who was that person who said, now this is gonna be beautiful? Or in the 60s, who said that we need those huge eyes and we need those pale lips? So I found the answer, which made me believe it's true, and the answer is the camera. They started doing photography in 19th century, and then in the early 20th century we have silent movies. Before it was just a theater, so people came to see the actors playing different roles. And those actors, as far as they were on stage, and there was a distance between them and people, they had to make their skin whiter. They made their eyes darker so people would see their eyes better. Of course, they made their lips brighter because people had to see what they're talking with. And of course, the brows. The brows show the character. Theater came to the cinema. It was a back quality. It was only black and white. Literally, no gradient, almost no gray colors. If they didn't put any makeup on their face, it would look blank. Let's take 1910, when silent movies were very popular. Their skin was pretty bleached with powder, so to create that contrast between the eyes and the face, otherwise eyes could get lost. So they did their brows pretty precise, also black, with downturned tail. They made super dark smoky eyes around their eyes, and lips. We all know that famous lip shape that they did. And again, very dark lips with a very precise line. As far as all those dark parts become black on the screen, just imagine if they applied any contouring shade on their cheekbones. Camera couldn't show the sculpture of the cheekbones. That would look like something is dirty on their cheeks. So they didn't need this. So cosmetic industry didn't produce those types of products. In 1920, the camera got better. So before we had just white and black. And then we started having those gray colors in between. And gray colors are the shadows, gradients. What do those gradients do? They show the shape. Before we couldn't see the shape. The face was like a moon, everything was pretty flat. But now in the 30s we really start seeing that shape of objects. Images were sharper, so you could see the sculpture. So we need to shape the face more. That time cosmetic industry started making those contouring powders. And they applied it on their lid. They sculpt the lid. It was not supposed to look like a cosmetic product. They made them very round and very precise. Under her cheekbones, around the jawline. They also shaped the nose with that contouring powder. We still have no pearl, no shimmer. Camera can show this. But camera can show lashes. They stopped doing all that crazy smoky eye, so we have some false lashes. 1940s, the time of war. Camera made one step forward to show war, to show reports about war. It was not so much about the portrait with a blank background. It was more about a person sitting inside of an interior, because camera could show interior and they couldn't afford that luxury, glamorous makeup because it was wartime, so it was more conservative. We finally have color, but colored camera is not so good. So it couldn't show the shape, but it could show the lash line. That's when they started producing a lot of eyeliners, because you couldn't show unhappy face when it's a wartime. The eyes were also lifted with some false eyelashes, so brow is not dropped anymore. Brows became more natural.